You are doing so much in the world. I am so grateful. I don't know anybody else whose leadership has the expanse that yours does from the inner engineering training that you're doing, which is, my understanding is the belief that in order to be effective out there in the world and to have impact, we need to get a handle on our reactivity and our compulsiveness and our impulse. So it could be easy for us to go talk about all the things you're doing in the world, and we're going to get there, but I really wanted to honor, I think, the message that you're putting out there, and I wanted to start with the internal realm. So I wondered if you could just share some concrete examples from your own life when you're out there at the national and global level. What are the moments that you're drawing on in terms of your internal state? Like, do you have a daily practice or multiple ones? And how does that work in your life?
Is my audio okay? Hello? Yeah. Good morning, everyone. Oh, good afternoon. See, this question is coming from a certain objectification of a subjective nature. You're talking about where does it come from? That means there are many places. No, there are no many places for subjectivity. For objectivity, there is a hand, there is a leg, there is this person, there is that person and things that we do. This is objectivity. With subjectivity, there are no many places. And when you say in these global events, right now, if I walk on the street, springtime, wonderful, this is a global event. Why is only sitting in United Nations or Economic Forum or something like this is a global event? I walk on the street, for me it's a global event. Hello? Isn't springtime a global event? It's a very significant global event. This is the nature of an objective mind. Somewhere we have categorized as one thing more important than the other. The moment you do this, somebody becomes good, somebody becomes bad, something becomes beautiful, something becomes ugly, something becomes high, something becomes low, something becomes God, something becomes devil. This is the basis of how humanity cripples itself. The moment you divide creation, well, if you're breathing, you know this much, that what you exhale, the trees are inhaling, what the trees exhale, you're inhaling. Your idea of who you are, your individualism is just a psychological mess. It's a psychological case, actually. See, in this universe, in this cosmos, this very solar system in which we exist is actually a speck. It's just a speck in the universe. Tomorrow morning if the entire solar system evaporates, nobody will notice it. Yes, they won't, it's that small. In that speck, planet Earth is a micro speck. In that micro speck, America is a super micro speck. In that super micro speck, San Francisco is a super micro speck. In that you're a big person. This is a serious problem. It is from this wrong context that people are looking at everything and making it so difficult for themselves. See, most human beings are capable of sitting in one place without anybody's help. They're able to suffer their own presence. Hello? If I am with you and I'm suffering, I can blame it on you, it's because of you I'm suffering. If I sit here alone and I suffer, obviously bad company, isn't it? Without fixing this one thing, we are trying to fixing everything else in the world. It's like this, my hands are not clean, but now I try to clean your shirt, you know? So all the time this is happening, there may be good intention, but good intention is a very messy thing. More horrible things have happened on this planet with good intentions than with bad intentions. Yes, the so-called evil has not done too much bad things. It's people who believe they're really good people. They're the people who really cause maximum damage because we are good in a contextual way. Somebody is a good American, somebody is a good Indian. Good Indians are always fighting with good Pakistanis. Good Americans are fighting with just about anybody. It's like a menu, you can choose anybody every few years. Good Christians are fighting good somebody else, good Muslims are fighting somebody else. I'm saying, it is your goodness which is the problem. Because your goodness is very contextual and of a limited identity. So the first and foremost thing that needs to happen within a human being is, as your life is, your mind and the structure of your psychological space should be complementary to the life that you are, in the sense, you may not be conscious, but right now if you think about it, you cannot exist here all by yourself. You're existing here only as a part of everything else, isn't it? You're just a small pop-out on this planet. You'll pop up and you'll pop out. Yes, before you and me came here, countless number of people like you and me have been here. Today they're all topsoil. Yes or no? So your existence here is related to everything in the universe. But your psychological structure is not related to anything. This is what human beings are essentially suffering. This is one dimension which is crippling humanity, like just completely crippled. Their intelligence just works around their identity. This is the nature of one's intellect, that it will only work around your identity. Whatever you identify yourself with, your intellect will fight to just protect that identity all the time. Now, one more fundamental is, our education systems… I'm sorry, I'm in a university, I know. I didn't go when I had to go, but now I'm coming these days. So, our education systems right from kindergarten have focused only on one dimension of human intelligence, which is the intellect. I want you to look at this. Your intellect cannot function without a memory bank, isn't it so? Hello? However intelligent you are, if you wipe out your memory, you don't know a damn thing. So you're essentially, our systems of education are misunderstanding or spreading the misunderstanding that memory is intelligence. But today, with the advent of technology, you know, a small chip can hold more memory than your entire brain can hold. Well, in the next 5–10 years' time, artificial intelligence is going to come in a big way. My phone can do 10 PhDs in a day. Hello? Because having a memory bank, assimilating that, understanding that and projecting it outside, a machine can do it better than you. So we have gone through this for almost like I would say 5 to 10 generations have already gone by, where we have misunderstood that memory is intelligence. This needs to change, otherwise you will feel like a fool when those little gadgets start doing things better than you. Already they're doing. In front of that Google lady, you're feeling like an idiot. Hello? Yes or no? Because she has more memory than you and me can ever imagine. So human intelligence is not limited to memory and usage of what we have gathered. What we have gathered is fine. We have gathered mass in terms of body, we have gathered impressions and memory in terms of our psychological makeup. What we have gathered is fine, we can use it. But right now, instead of using it, we have become that. This is where all the confusion arises. What I gather, I can say this is my cup. If I say my cup, this itself you'll wonder, what is the problem with him? Why is he claiming this cup is his? But if I say this is me, you will say, let's go. Hello? Because the moment I say this is me, you know this is a psychological case. Yes or no? Yes. Say right now, the food on your plate, it's your food. The moment you eat it, it becomes you. This is a case. Because we have lost the distinction between what is me and what is mine. They got mixed up. So there is no subjectivity in human beings. People think their emotions and thought are subjectivity. No, the material for your thought and emotion has been gathered from outside, isn't it so? Hello? It's objective. You can analyze it, you can compartmentalize it, you can use it, you can throw it around, you can do all this, it's very much an object. So, subjectivity will come only when intelligence which is beyond memory becomes a living experience for you. There is a dimension of intelligence within you which is unsullied by memory. This intelligence, if you access, life becomes a play. Say right now, you're just eating leaves these days in California. Everybody eats leaves. This leaf, within 3 to 4 hours' time, transforms itself into a human being, isn't it so? So there is an intelligence here which can make a leaf into a human being. If I took a leaf in my hand and turned it into a human being, who do you think I am? Hello? Huh? Creator himself, isn't it? Can't be anything less than that. Are you not doing this in your stomach every day? Turning a piece of bread into a human being, anything, just about a piece of carrot into a human being. So that dimension of intelligence, does it exist within you or not? The question is only of access, isn't it? There is Wi-Fi here. To access, you need a code. Otherwise, do whatever you want, you don't get it. The same here. There is a phenomenal intelligence here which is not about memory, which has nothing to do with memory. We must understand memory is a structure which is useful for our survival. We remember so many things. I know who is my friend, who is my neighbor, this, that, this, how to do all this. This is useful for survival. But memory, the structure of memory is also a boundary. Oh, this is my friend, this is a person I like, this is a person I don't like, this is my enemy, this is a good guy, this is bad guy. All this is in your memory, isn't it? Memory is also a boundary. The only boundary you have is the boundaries of your memory, please look at it. Yes or no? What I know and what I do not know. The only thing is just this, that you're differentiating between things that you know and do not know. If you look at it in these terms, even if you have read the libraries of this planet, still what you know is a minuscule compared to this cosmic space. Hello? Is it okay in a university to say this or you think otherwise? This is a minuscule. If you identify with this minuscule, you will become a minuscule because whatever you identify with, you become that, isn't it so? Hello? Yes. Whatever you strongly identify with, you actually become that. If you identify with this tiny little minuscule of knowledge that you have, you will become that. So, in the yogic systems, we always train people to identify with their ignorance, because our ignorance is boundless, not bound by memory. Hello? It's not bound by memory. Memory is always a limited content. You can increase it, you can make it big, but still it is very small compared to what this creation is. Because as you sit here, everything is creation is either working for you or working against you right now, isn't it? Is it working for you or no? Everything is working for you. If you don't know this is what ecological disaster means. If all the worms die, all of us will die within a year's time. Worms. Yes. If all the insects die, entire life will disappear in a matter of 3 to 4 years' time. So, they're all working for us and in some way we are working for them, all right? Everything is working for everything because this is not a transactional universe as business is. This is a homogeneous making. So if this homogeneity becomes your living experience, the way you function is different, then it is your subjectivity. It is not a trick that you play with yourself, you get up in the morning and do something. There's no such thing. Well, there are practices to break through your limitations, but the important thing is you move from an objective division that you have caused with your intellect, because the nature of your intellect is to discriminate. Hello? Would you like your intellect… You must choose right now because I'm going to bless you. Would you like your intellect to be sharp or blunt? Huh? Sharp or blunt, you must choose? Sharp. So obviously it's a cutting instrument. So it's like a knife, the sharper it is, the better it is. So if you use a knife to cut something, it works well. Suppose you want to stitch your clothes and you use a knife. Of course you're in tatters. Is that the reason why everybody is walking around in tatters? I don't know. So, the more you try to fix the world, the more in tatters it is, because you're using a sharp instrument to do everything. There are other dimensions of intelligence which are not of division, which are not of discrimination, which is of a deeper dimension of perception. If you use your intellect only, it is always clouded with your memory, there is no other way it can function. So, moving from memory-based function, which is always judgmental, from my memory, I know this person is like this, that person is like that, from where? From previous experience. That means I cannot experience anybody or anything the way it is. So right now, being in a business school means a leader means essentially someone who is able to see something that others are not able to see. Because leadership naturally places you on a perch. If you are on a higher perch than other people and you don't see any better, you become an object of ridicule. This is the dangers of leadership. If you go and sit on a perch, you're supposed to see better than others, then everybody is looking up to you. If you sit up there and don't see any better than others, then you make a fool of yourself. So, sitting up there means that you're sitting above your own gathered memory and you're looking at life. It's like a captain of a ship, he doesn't do anything. The crew is working hard, all he does is he stares at everything. He's simply staring out. But if he doesn't stare good enough, everybody will drown. He doesn't do any work. The captain of a ship is always dressed well to be impressive. He doesn't do any work, all he does is just stares out. That means he's supposed to see better than others. What others cannot see, he must see. That's leadership. I'm sorry.
I was almost… I got permission to interrupt you. I was almost… but you stopped yourself, that was really good.
I knew what was coming.